hilarious. He does a lot of my shows. You can catch him all around town. Let's do you guys make some noise for your headliner, Christopher Anthony! So, disclaimer, I've been doing comedy for a decade now. And I usually have notes. Jorge said no notes, so I want to tell you something. I was actually in a really bad car accident, which hinders my short-term memory. So I'm extremely funny, but I have short-term memory issues, and I gotta tell you, the only thing more embarrassing than telling people that is telling them 2 more times in the next 5 minutes. It's an awkward conversation because I feel like they're just fucking with me. But if I don't have it recorded, I can't keep track of what's going on. Chicago, welcome, welcome. You're like, I didn't clench my purse enough. I want to go to New Orleans and really feel like my life is at risk at any given second. I appreciate that, thank you. I don't want to boast, but we are number 1 in murder. It's weird, because like, I've never worn a jersey, I didn't add to the score, but like, I'm the home team, and I'm just rooting for my guys, is what it is, right? New Orleans is super great. Now, there's a few quick things I want to go over, some things that might have confused you. The first thing is that there's a big billboard downtown, and it says, learn to read. I also don't know who that billboard is for. I just feel like either you know what it says and you don't need it, or you don't know what it says and your girlfriend's second guessing her choices is what it really is coming down to it. There's another thing you might be confused by too. There's a lot of people in New Orleans with bikes. You're probably thinking they're all like environmentally conscientious. There's a lot of bikes out here, not because people care about the environment. There's a lot of bikes out here because people have DUIs. They don't give a shit about the environment. They can't legally drive, is really what it's coming down to. You might also be confused in every other city, every other state. You just call that thing the median, but here they call it the neutral ground, right? Someone just decided to put a small park in between 2 streets. You might be confused, like, why is it so big? Why is it so complicated? Why are there no left turns? Did Zoolander design the streets? I don't know. Here's what I can tell you. I can tell you that the neutral ground is so wide because once you cross 2 streets in New Orleans, you gotta like sit down, take a nap, start to really think about your life choices, maybe call a few relatives like, Mom, could you just take care of my cats? Because if anything happens to me, I don't know what's going to happen to them. I have to cross 2 more streets. See, so the natives are like, good point. It actually sounds like my call my mom voice. And you guys are just like, well, that's why you get a hotel nearby. So, yeah, I mean, welcome to New Orleans. Like I said, we are number 1 in murder. Now, here's the thing. How can a city, a southern hospitality city, be known for so much murder when there's so many nice people? You might think those 2 things are completely separate. No, no, no. Those 2 things are directly connected. Go to any restaurant and you'll see some signs that say, be nice or leave. What they mean is, be nice or leave this fucking plane of existence. Like, bitch, I will gun you down. It's like Derek was 27. What happened to him? I heard, actually, someone opened a door for him and he didn't say thank you, so they just fucking killed him right there. You know how it is in NOLA, baby. All right. Quick question. Your cops, when they pull people over, do they do this whole thing where they're like, hey, you could pay this ticket, or you could fill out this job application? Do they do that? They do that in Chicago? No? They don't offer you an employee discount if you sign up in the next 30 days? Like it's a fucking internet bill or something? They don't do that in Chicago? All right, get a ticket here. It's fun. Check it out. It's a lot. They also like those little parking envelopes, the little orange ones. Sometimes it's a ticket for like $500 for a car you don't even own. And every once in a while, there's a little elf, little gnome that puts like a $10 Starbucks gift card. Except there's no Starbucks here because they were tired of people sleeping. Anyway, welcome to New Orleans. I just want to welcome all of you and to the natives. Maybe this is the southern charm that has kept you here. or maybe it's the fact that you're still on parole and you can't legally leave. Whatever it is that keeps you here, we love having you here. And again, welcome to New Orleans. I don't know if you heard, but our mayor had some problems with the cop. Mayor Cantrell was doing something with like the chief of police. Fun fact, read the news. It's not just Facebook, guys. Okay. And I think that's all miscommunication. I think one of her friends was like, fuck the police. And she's like, okay. $16,000 in dresses. Fuck it, let's do it. Yeah, it's really challenging, honestly. But I do want to tell you, public service announcement, you should never complain when you see 6 cops pulling over one car. Because that's 5 cops that are fucking with you. You know what I mean? Like, let the hyenas feed and just run along Gazelle. Run along to the safe Serengeti. True story, my friend was a cop. It wasn't for him. After 8 months, he actually quit. But he was good at like a few cop things, if you want to put it that way. He was good at, like, obviously flashing his lights. He was good at looking up records. He was good at telling people to put their hands in the air. So he's a DJ now. Much better for him. Much better. It's a very smart joke. Just put your hands in the air and wave them like you just fucking got a 90s reference. Sweet. The moms like it. They appreciate it. I do actually, speaking of DJs, I like going to nightclubs to meet women because I think there's no better preparation for marriage than yelling at each other at 1:30 in the morning over loud music. I feel like it really sets the tone. You know what I'm talking about. 2 of you are arguing about who's more drunk. I think it works out well. But it's difficult. It's difficult dating, especially in 2023. Ashley hit on that. Daniel hit on that a little bit. It's very difficult to date out here because women, you have this very unfair thing that you can do where you can refer to every girl you know as your girlfriend. What the fuck is that? That's just rude. And all these guys are just second guessing. Like, oh, where are you doing this weekend? Oh, I'm just going clothes shopping with a few of my girlfriends. Like, okay, so you've got more than one? I haven't had one in 3 fucking months. Okay, cool. Or like, oh my god, all my girlfriends are getting together, we're going on a trip to Miami. It's like, that's weird. But I get it, it's like this bonding thing, except women, you have this amazing strategy, right? Because according to a statistic written on the door of my RA in college, every woman is going to have at least one bisexual experience. So pucker up, figure it out, talk to mom about it later. Anyway, every girl's going to have at least one bisexual experience. And the reason why is because the temptation's so high. See, like, you guys can flirt with another woman in a dressing room. That's very unfair. You can flirt with another woman in the bathroom, right? You're like holding up her hair, telling her how horrible her boyfriend is. She should just go back out and break up with him. But meanwhile, you're like, what if, after a mint and some gum, we just made out real quick and just figured out what happened in the back, you know? What if we just did that? Or bachelorette parties, oh my god. One woman's getting married, the rest of them are just like, I'm just rethinking everything. That's always the bridesmaid, never the bride. And you're just like, shh, Tina, don't worry about it. Just come over. You know, and just like fucking just going at it, being like, you know what? Let's see what happens. I gotta tell you, this whole calling your friend a girlfriend, let me tell you a story real quick. I went to college in North Carolina, okay? I was hiking where Last of the Mohicans was filmed. Kevin Costner movie way back in the 90s, probably before most of you were born. It's okay. I was going hiking, and one of my friends slipped on a rock. It's a really riveting story, I promise. One of my friends, Eric, slipped on a rock, and I reached for him, and we did the whole thing where we grabbed each other's wrists like you see in an action film. Below him was easily 100 to a 200-foot drop, no question. Had I not pulled that man up, he would not be alive today as a pilot living in New York. But even with that, if I ever referred to Eric as my boyfriend, he would never fucking answer my calls, is what I'm saying. Communication, I'm not as good, and I mean, obviously as like a headlining, amazing, handsome comic, sure, I should be confident. But my communication isn't that great. Like for instance, I told my friends that I think my grandma watches me masturbate. When what I was really trying to say is, I believe in ghosts. You know what I mean? Like, most of my friends didn't even know my grandma passed away, so now they just think we come from a fucked up family. I'm also not good with communication because, like, I was hanging out with my friends, just me and my boyfriends. It's hanging out with my boyfriends. I'm fucking taking that word. We're doing it tonight. And one of my friends was like, you know what, guys? I'm not ashamed of it. I'll say it right now. I like to fuck big girls. And everybody cheered him on. You know what I mean? Like, that's the day we're in now. Adele, Lizzo, they're like really big and also large. Anyway, they're popular. Yeah, Adele lost some weight. It's called cocaine. It's good. Anyway. So then I chimed in like, hey guys, well, as you probably know, I like to fuck little girls. And like, no, now my friends don't talk to me. It's word choice. I'm 5'7" on a good day with thick shoes. I could have said petite, short, small, but I went with the stupidest choice, which was little girls. And what they heard was, I cannot be anywhere near this guy. And also, he should probably move away because he's 5 blocks from a school. That's what they heard. Another thing, I'm really bad at communication, going back to New Orleans and the crime. So like, when I first moved here, I moved to Tremay because HBO told me to. So I just do what HBO tells me anyway. So I moved to Tremay and I was very excited. But a few months in, I saw one of my neighbors at a coffee shop and I said, hey, now's probably not a good time to go back to the apartment. The police have that whole area blocked off. They've been shooting out there for the last few hours. My neighbor freaked out, dropped his coffee, and as I walked away, I realized I should have said filming. I should have said filming, guys. There's a lot of movies going on here, but I never saw them again. I'm pretty sure they moved. Now, communication, like you would think, stellar guy like me, all I've got to do when it comes to the bedroom stuff, just lay there and look pretty. We know about that, we know about that. Just lay there and look pretty. All right. But it wasn't enough, you see, because I don't know how all that talk goes on. So the first thing was, women do this thing where they're like, deeper, deeper. And first of all, ladies, let's not do that anymore. Okay? You're not cheering anyone on, you're not raising enthusiasm, you're not boosting morale at all. Okay? Don't say deeper, deeper. It's a dick, not the Star Wars franchise. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, did you think you want to see the first 3 episodes of Dick or the last 9? You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot. There's a tattoo halfway down that says to be continued. Most women never even notice it. Plus, if that's not enough, there's all this leftover Dick in the drawer. I know, you've got it, I see it. I keep some leftovers on the side. I would never, like, that's so odd because I would never, and gentlemen never do this either, never have sex with a girl and say, shallower, shallower. I want to hit a wall. Does it ever end? How many kids have you had? Don't do that. That's rude. And it doesn't help the situation. So we won't say shallower, but we'll continue to date shallow, right? On Tinder, baby, there it is. Just photos. Keep it nice and simple. Don't even go with last names. That just gets crazy. Now, the second way I know I'm bad with communication, especially in the bedroom, is I'm laying in bed with my lady, in case anyone here is still confused, thank you though. Laying in bed with my lady, and she says to me, I want you to make me feel violated. Violated. So, I was like, why the fuck are you whispering? Is there a camera? Like, are we being filmed right now? It's a bedroom, not a library. Speak up. Then I was just like, you know what? I did what I thought any man would do. I tied her hands to the headboard. I tied her feet to the footboard. I got a bed frame, baby. That's right, that's me. I tie her hands to the headboard, feet to the footboard, put a gag in her mouth, and then I looked through her cell phone. I looked through her cell phone, and she was like, I felt pretty successful, if I'm being honest. I felt pretty successful. But apparently that is not what she meant. So weird. But after studying her text messages with Greg, I learned a lot more about what she was actually into. Photos definitely would have helped in my case. Sure as shit helped for him. She was into some 50 Shades of Grey kind of thing. 50 Shades of Grey, by the way, is that movie that a lot of people's grandma would go to at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Do you guys remember? Oh yeah. And come out sopping wet and be like, Grandma, I think you spilled your drink on your lap. She's like, no. No, I didn't. I drank all of it. I was very thirsty. You want a towel or something? Like, no. No, I needed that. I needed that. They're getting what I'm putting down is really how it's going. Feel compelled to remind everybody here I'm not gay. Nothing wrong with that. I'm not gay. But I am from Miami. We all dress like this. It's weird. We wear clothes that fit, jeans that hug our butt. You know what I mean? Like, putting my goods out for bid, auction, no current purchasers is what's really going on. But my mom was very worried. Daniel has left the building, but okay. And he was talking about growing up with just a mom. I could say like I'm a Hispanic male from Bronx, New York, and then you just know that was my backstory. You've seen enough movies with John Leguizamo or Jennifer Lopez to know how it works. Anyway, so I grew up with a mom and 2 sisters, one above, one below. I have the prettiest hair. It's tucked in this hat. Trust me, it's the prettiest hair. My mom tells me all the time. My mom was very worried because when I was 12, she found my sister's Barbie dolls in my room. And she was concerned because she wanted to have a boy because she wanted a man that would at least stay around in her life for 18 years. Anyway, that's her own dating story, not mine. So my mom found the Barbie dolls that I had secretly tucked away into my room. And she took all those Barbie dolls away. And she bought me G.I. Joes. And I will tell you, it was so difficult to masturbate to G.I. Joes. Oh my God. Luckily, the Cobra Commander, look it up, there's been a film recently with Channing Tatum. Anyway, the Cobra Commander wears a silver mask and a jacket. I'm just like, that's a woman. That's a woman. We're gonna figure this shit out. I also, when I was in school, I did cheerleading and I did drama, which did not help my mom's concerns about her boy being gay. Little did she know, it was the most logical, most strategic move ever. You guys are still high school, college age, figure it out, join a club. For the fellas, it's all about ratio, baby. So my friends were like, oh my God, you're in theater, so gay. And cheerleading, super gay. I'm like, why do you even talk like that? They're like, no, you're just gonna impersonate me like that when you do comedy. Anyway, weird fourth wall break right there. I did drama because we all had to change in the same room. And I did cheerleading because there were 4 guys on the squad and 18 girls. And they irresponsibly had us travel throughout the state of Florida and gave the boys 2 to a room and the girls 6 to a room. And we all know bitches in high school hate each other. Anyway, what I'm saying is, join your local cheerleading and drama club. It's a public service announcement. I'm sponsored by, I don't know, acting studio. Anyway, so what's funny is like those 2 sports, you know, like, well, like cheerleading, obviously, people think that's gay. How many, like, you guys watch boxing? Can I have like an applause or reaction? Let me know you haven't died, you weren't great. Watch boxing? Fun fact, super gay. Super gay. Let's put it into perspective real quick. These guys come out wearing underwear, tall boots, and a robe. Second they get in there, they throw down the rope, they stare deeply into each other's face. They're also wearing gloves, nice, cute, padded gloves, usually matching their underwear, okay? That's weird. They also watched each other step on a scale. Like, I've dated women, I would never ever know how much they weigh. Very intimate, regardless. What are these men fighting over? Come on, guys. A purse?
And a belt.
And a belt. The bigger the belt, the bigger the purse. Crazy thing is, the belt very rarely matches their outfit. But they're like, fuck it, it's gold, it's shiny, I want it. They're brought together with a ring, And when they get too tired from doing this, they just stand in the corner and hug each other. Until that other man, not nearly dressed as nice, clashing black and white, fucking mean zebra person, comes through and separates these two men who have spent all this time getting to know each other very intimately. You will never see boxing the same. You know what else? You know what other sport is super gay? Football, baby. Oh my god. Football is so gay. Maybe I'm just bitter because a lot of my friends, they are so bothered that I don't watch football. And I'm like, guys, let me understand this. You think that I'm gay because I don't like to get together with men and then go to bars that are filled with men. And all those men are looking at TV screens. Of men. And all those men in the TV screens are grabbing other men in an attempt to get their balls. To get their balls, they want their fucking balls. I've not heard much football, but I've heard things like, you tell me if I'm wrong, penetrating deep into the tight end? Looking for a wide receiver? Tackle down a fullback? Okay. There's some cosplay aspect to this where like, I'm gonna dress up as a cowboy, and I want you to dress up as a Viking. You be a Viking, and I'll be a cowboy, and then I want you to squat down real low. Fucking lower. Okay, now look at me, not yet, not yet. When they tell us to, I'm gonna push against you, and you're gonna push against me. And we're gonna do that again and again and again, while 20,000 people fucking watch us. And they wear pads, My little sister wears pads, that's fine. Mm-hmm. They congratulate each other by either dancing, can't do it too long, costs money. Can't dance too long. So they either dance, not very coordinated by the way, or we'll tap on that ass. Well, good on you, buddy. Good on you that you grabbed that ball and took it hard and deep, all the way to the side. It's great. Oh, I'm not done. I'm not fucking done with you guys yet. Okay. If that is not hetero enough for you, there's a version of this sport that you can enjoy from the comfort and privacy of your home. You know where I'm going with this? Fantasy. My nipples are getting hard just thinking about this. Hold on. Fantasy football. Where are my fantasy football people at? Come on. You played, you know what I'm talking about. If you want to play fantasy football, you got to know a lot more about those men. How tall is he? How much does he weigh? What's his favorite position? What school did he go to? How is he feeling emotionally and physically? Because I got $300 on that motherfucker. Football's great. Am I right? It's super, super wonderful. I haven't watched a lot of sports because there's a lot of things that go on that make absolutely no sense to me. This whole idea that the first date is to go to a movie. Hey, now that we've been chatting back and forth and we finally see what we look like now and not 5 years ago, or each other's great Photoshop skills, you know what we should do? I was thinking maybe we could sit in a dark room for over 2 hours, stare in the same direction, and sit somewhere where conversation's absolutely completely prohibited. It's a great way to get to know each other. What do you think? And then maybe we could go get something to eat and we could talk about what was going on in that stupid piece of shit movie we saw. Because I'm not willing to say that I needed witnesses to feel comfortable sitting next to you. Now, my online daters, I want to tell you, you meet somebody online, the best thing you can possibly do is say, listen, could you do me a favor? Could you take a picture of you holding today's newspaper? I just want to make sure that's what you look like now. Because I've watched way too much murder porn. Now, I feel like not only am I saying things that are funny, but a lot of people are like, I'm taking notes. That makes total sense. I learned from Lifetime movies that all men are inherently evil. That's correct. Am I getting this? Good, right? Thank you. I haven't connected with you guys yet. Marvel, Trina, Cardi B. Anyway, I saw the light, but I don't want to leave you guys hanging. I want to say something that's absolutely hysterical to all of you. I'm really bad at meth and spelling. Meth and spelling, 2 worst subjects. It's probably why I failed the DARE program. Thank you. Growing up, I was so poor. Jorge talked about this. I was so poor that I just had a shirt that said DARE without all that stuff underneath. We all know it's drug abuse resistance education, and we know it's broken. Thank you for letting us know that. But I was so poor that I grew up thinking that DARE stood for drugs are really expensive. And in a single parent family, that was reason enough never to get involved. My mom was like, drugs are for rich kids whose parents truly love them and are willing to sedate them. Listen, be friends with those people. They end up as politicians. Anyway, you guys have been great. Thank you so much.
Give it up, everybody, your headliner tonight, Christopher Anthony.